Hello and welcome everyone to this video where I am going to be talking about the best performing sector which we have seen in the last few weeks, right? And I am referring to the construction sector. My name is Raja Venkatraman. I'm the co-founder of NeoTrader and I'm happy to have you in this video. But well, if you're coming to our channel for the first time, all you have to do is hit on the subscribe button so that you stay connected with all such interesting videos. I am going to be discussing in this video the best three stocks which I find are looking good from a buying perspective in the construction sector. And if you can see here, right, this is the performance of the markets in the last week, and the construction sector has performed exceedingly well. So what I thought is, why not I look at the entire Nifty 500 basket and find out what are the good stocks to observe. So what did I do? I went and created a universe, and in my NeoTrader, I've got the entire facility for creating a universe. And what I saw from the universe is that majority of the stocks did exceedingly well on Friday, and amongst them, certain stocks have fared very well. Amongst them, the leader L&T has done very well. So I have chosen L&T as one of the stock. And if you had seen my earlier videos, I had mentioned about DLF. In DLF, the move has transpired from the levels of around 370, then we discussed at 390, then it has gone on to create a new high. So all this brings in lot of bullish momentum in the real estate sector, and all this is going to be discussed. So DLF is our number 2 stock. And then I have with me the third stock which I'm going to be discussing is Phoenix Mills. So yes, we have got 3 interesting stocks for discussion here. Pay attention. I'm going to be telling you what I find interesting in them, what are the key levels to watch out for, and how you can also action the same. Now, let us check out each stock step by step. So first, I will go into my stock analyzer, right? And in my stock analyzer, first we'll take up Phoenix Limited. Okay, we'll take up Phoenix Limited, and we will go and check out why this particular stock is very interesting. So the setup of Phoenix is quite interesting. The reason being that in the multi-day, it has already started flashing a buy. You can see here on the multi-day. So let me just enlarge it a little bit for you. So you can see here that on the multi-day, it is a strong buy. Now you can see on the positional, it is shifting to a strong buy. So the overall prospects of Phoenix is very encouraging. So I am referring certain stocks from a multi-day perspective so that you can find out. So my objective here is to share with you top 3 stocks which I find good in the construction space. Now, when I take a look at the scores, okay, when I take a look at the scores, I can see that the multi-day has already started giving us very good triggers. Now, when you take a look at the positional, the scores are starting to get better. So overall, the momentum is definitely increasing to the upside. Now you can see here there are indications given of long opportunity in multi-day as well as positional. So having said that, now if you want to take a look at the kind of levels to action, okay, if you want to take a look at kind of levels to action in Phoenix, why don't we go and check out these levels? Okay, these are the levels which I always cover as part of my videos. And now what we'll do is we will go and take a look as to how we can action them. So some of you who are watching may also be from the intraday community. That's not a problem. So what I'll do is I will see if there are any kind of confluences available so that we can take action. So first up, let's try and do some levels on the upside. So as we are looking at the overall play, okay, as we are looking at the overall play, we can see here that on an immediate basis, you have got this particular level 1456, which is your R2 on the intraday, which is close to 1452, or R1 on the multi-day, and which is close to 1456 on your positional. So you have got 1456 as an important zone to watch out for in the coming session. So it has to cross this zone. So in the region of 52 to say 60, you may find it facing some hurdles out there because there is a nice cluster zone appearing. As it starts moving up, you can see that there is no real hindrances out here till it reaches 1470. So from here, 1470 is your also your R3 on the intraday. So intraday targets can be at R3, which is around 1470. So 1470 is your target zone, then 1470, right? 1470 here. And then when you go into your multi-day, right? Multi-day and positional, they are not having much of confluences at the moment. So what you need to consider is if you are going to take a multi-day play, then 1520 could be your target. And on an intraday, 1490 is your extended target. So you have got this as the first target. You have got 1490 as your second target. And you have got 1520 as your third target. All right. So these are going to be the three targets which you can practice, keep in mind for the coming week. All right. So now if it begins to move ahead and if it starts delivering some results, we will track these particular stocks. All right. So this is as far as Phoenix Limited is concerned. Now, if there were a reaction to the way down, okay, if there is a reaction to the way down, can we find some support? Let us take a look at that. And immediate support, which I can see is your intraday S1, which is close to your pivot on your multi-day. So in the region of 1410 to 1420, you can find some supports. So this could be your demand zone and all these could be your supply zone. All right. So with that, you have got an idea now on Phoenix. The overall momentum is positive and I'll continue to track this and will keep you updated. So now let's move on to DLF. Okay. Or rather so you can see here, this is DLF. So let's now move on to DLF. DLF has been in a phenomenal run. Okay, DLF has been in a phenomenal run. You can see here that in the intraday, it is giving you steady opportunities on a daily basis. Multi-day is a buy. The positional is a buy. So overall, the prospects are very, very good. Overall, the prospects are very, very good. And that is why every dip in DLF has become a buying opportunity in the last few days. Now, when you go and take a look at the kind of scores that are settling in, you can see here that the multi-day and the positional are showing some bullish bias. The multi-day and the positional are showing some bullish bias. Multi-day is already in a buy territory. The positional is also getting into a buy zone. So there are bullish prospects which are visible here. And now when you take a look at the kind of signals that are getting generated, it is very, very encouraging. It is very, very encouraging. And yes, at certain higher levels, you may have a short reversal, but then overall, the prospects are very, very encouraging. Now, when you're going down to the levels, okay, now when you're going down to the levels and when you want to find out what kind of levels which we can track, let's go and check out if there are some cluster zones. So on an immediate note, okay, on an immediate note, what you can see here is, you can see here for an intraday guy, 428, or even for a multi-day guy, 428 to 429 could be a important zone. So now if you were to stretch this a little bit more, you have got here 430. So basically around 428 to 430. Okay, 428 to 430 will be a very important zone. As long as these particular levels are not given up, you need to hold on. Why? Because it is just below this level and a breakout from here can take it much higher. Now, the question is, what are the higher levels which we can look at? So let's try and find out some confluence zone. And the confluence zone which I am finding is your R3 of multi-day. It is very close to your R2 of intraday. So R3 and R2, this could become your supply zone. This could become your supply zone. And from here, you have a 20-point move out here. So it's at a very good zone right now. So all you have to do is wait for this particular level to cross out. This particular level around 428 to 430. If you're already having a overnight position in DLF, look for this particular target zone. And if at this level, if the price is unable to sustain, then you should look to exit your position. But then if it moves on from here, this is your supply zone. So again, like we did in Phoenix, let's try and look at the support zones as well. So what are the interesting support zones which are coming at our doorstep? You can see here that immediate reaction from there. Okay, immediate reaction from there. You are having a very good support zone in the region of 403. Okay, there are two sets of support zones which I have. Let me highlight to you. So this is my support zone number 1, and this intraday, if you are looking at intraday, so intraday to your multi-day S1. So multi-day S1 is your support number 1. Okay, this is your demand zone number 1. Okay, this is your demand zone number 1, and 410 and 403. So this is your demand zone number 2. So we are having two demand zones here, 410 and 403. You can look to buy here because the overall prospects of DLF is on the bullish side. So unless these levels are really compromised, you can continue to hold on, because pivots is a mean reversion approach. So any reaction into the pivots and then a subsequent rebound from there is always a good place to buy into. All right. So this was DLF for you. So now let's move on to the third stock, which is LNT. All right. So now we are going to be discussing about LNT, and as you can see here that LNT is a strong buy candidate on intraday. It is a strong buy candidate on multi-day. It's moving towards a strong buy on positional. So it is absolutely fantastic. And LNT, of course, all of you know that it greatly influences the overall sentiment in the indices as well. So you can see here that a very, very strong candidate on the buy side. You can see that the scores are also improving. It has done intraday, multi-day, and the positional also is on a high score. So yes, what we are seeing is continuous buying opportunity here. Yes, at higher levels, you got to be a little careful, but then the bullish momentum is very much there. Now, what am I going to do in LNT? In LNT, I am also going to be looking at pullback approaches because it has risen quite strongly. So I would be better off looking at LNT to buy on dips. All right. So if I have to buy LNT on dips, so why don't I look at some lower levels to buy into? Because on an immediate note, okay, on an immediate note, what I observe in LNT is that these are 2370 is a important resistance area. So 2370 to 2380. Okay, 2370 to 2380 is a very strong resistance zone once again in LNT. So I would be waiting for this level to cross if I have to participate. But then looking at the kind of strong moves it has shown already, we need to look at some reaction to buy into. So what could be that? So let us go and take a look at that. And when you dip deeper on the intraday scale, you can see here that 2325 is your immediate support zone. Okay, 2325 is your immediate support zone here, which is your intraday S1. Now, closer to this is your 2305, which is your pivot, and this is around 2295. So essentially, what you are having here is 2325. Okay, yes, the gap is a little bit wide. It's around 1% here. So what I would do is I would choose to ignore these levels, okay, 2325, and rather I will go in with this cluster level. So I would go in with this cluster level and this cluster level, so which is a much tighter one. So the tighter the cluster, the better it is. So this is a good cluster zone. On a reaction to this, I'll be looking to buy. This is my demand zone for LNT. And if you can see here, the closest cluster, okay, the closest cluster, it's coming somewhere around this region. You can see that 2312, 2290. So if there is a reaction from here, okay, this is your S3. So you can, for those who want to go short, you can go for a short drop to 2290, where again this cluster will tie up with this. Are you getting it? That's why this cluster will tie up with this, and around 2290 to 2300 would be a good pullback zone to buy LNT. Yes, LNT is the best candidate. As we saw from the three stocks, LNT is the preferred one, but that has to be bought on dip. because if it is able to exceed this level, okay, we have spoken about dips, and I will be preferring to buy it on dips. But then some of you out there are also of the aggressive lot. If you want to go aggressive in LND and you want to go right in on Tuesday morning, what you could do is wait at least for this level to exceed, because once this level is exceeded, then LND has got more room at the top, and there I am finding again this 2420 as a very good cluster. This is your supply zone. So this is your supply zone, and this is your demand zone, which I have identified. So now you have got a very good range in LND to track and participate. All right. With that, I come to an end of this discussion on the construction stocks. DC stocks looks to be very promising, and that is why I have chosen them. If you liked what you heard and if you understood what I shared, do not forget to hit the like button, and also share this video with as many people as possible so that they know exactly what kind of stocks they can participate in the construction sector. And of course, you should also ensure that you comment on the chat box as to what kind of stocks are you liking, what kind of stocks are you trading, and how you are using our analysis on a regular basis to participate in the market. Thank you so much for watching. This is Raja Venkatraman signing off. Have a good day.